Republican presidential candidate Rudy Giuliani spelled out his plan for health care reform while campaigning today in New Hampshire. And in the meantime, the polling numbers indicate Giuliani is gaining ground where it may count the most. Chief political correspondent Carl Cameron has the story.
After leading national polls for months, Republican presidential frontrunner Rudy Giuliani has now also polled for the first time into a virtual tie for first place in all three of the critically important early voting states where he has trailed. Iowa, the first caucuses, a dead heat with Mitt Romney. New Hampshire, the first primary, same story. John McCain has plummeted. South Carolina, first in the South, an edge on Fred Thompson, who's having money and organizational problems. At a New Hampshire town hall-style meeting today, Giuliani began pitching health insurance reform. He would end the current employer and government-based system by giving people tax breaks to buy individual policies.
The idea is that people will have an incentive to buy their own health insurance. They'll get a big tax deduction for it. They'll get room for a health savings account.
And private sector competition and market forces, he says, will drive down prices and improve services.
The government can't possibly cover everybody. If the government covers everybody, the government will literally go bankrupt.
He warned voters that Democrats want European-style socialized medicine, and it doesn't work.
There is no magic solution that will help everybody like that.
Giuliani said his plan will not cover everyone. He doesn't yet know the price tag, and it'll take months, even years, to work out specific details.
Great to be here. Thank you.
In Virginia, Mitt Romney quickly contrasted Giuliani's incomplete proposals to the statewide health insurance system that Romney implemented as governor of Massachusetts.
One thing that's unique about my health care policies is that I've actually put them in place. I was governor for 4 years. We developed a plan over a couple of years. It's working in our state. It'll certainly have some problems that need to be ironed out as it's implemented, but it's working.
But Giuliani opposes much of the government regulation in Romney's plan. He sounded dubious about its success in Massachusetts and said it won't work nationally.
History will tell us whether it's the right answer or the wrong answer, but it isn't a good paradigm for the rest of the country.
Giuliani wrapped up a two-day swing through New Hampshire, courting independents and moderate Republicans by casting himself as a major change agent in the GOP with the broadest of appeal.
The Republican Party is badly in need of major reform. And the best way we're going to make that major reform is to conduct a nationwide election in 2008. In other words, a candidate that can contest in all 50 states.
Giuliani's already running a national campaign, unlike McCain and Romney, who are more focused on the early test states. Fred Thompson's just getting started, and today filed paperwork with the IRS that suggests that his fundraising in June was not up to expectations. He raised $3.46 million on just two fundraisers and the internet, but his aides had suggested he could raise in excess of $5 million, falling short of their own goal. Perhaps another suggestion that perhaps they're finding it a little tougher to kick off this national campaign than the Fred heads originally anticipated. Brett?
The Fred heads, huh? Okay, Carl, thanks very much. An American research group poll of Democrats in the early voting states of Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina shows Hillary Clinton leading in Iowa with 30% and tied for first in New Hampshire with 31%. She gets 29%, as you can see, in South Carolina. Barack Obama finishes third in Iowa with just 15%, but has 31% in New Hampshire to tie Clinton and leads in South Carolina with 33%. John Edwards draws 21% in Iowa, with just 14% and 18%. 14% in New Hampshire, 18% in South Carolina. Government officials in Cobb County, Georgia, said they're just trying to preserve property values with new regulations about how much space people should have in their homes. But Latino residents say the new rules threaten their way of life.